Keicha Day, Gunditj Mara, Yorta Yorta, Wamba Wamba. Reserve Member representing Gunditj, Mirring, Trisholiners Aboriginal Corporation.
Thank you. I just wanted to reiterate what everyone else has said in the room. So amazing and so deadly. I acknowledge and pay my deepest respects to the Kulin Nations and their elders past and present, their beautiful Borais who are our shared future and your community. I wanted to thank Thane for the very essential and very informative welcome to country this morning and recognise that sovereignty has never been ceded. Thank you to Uncle Peter Hood for the extra 3.5 minutes, a fine example in Unk Tanisi girl treaty making. To my beloved ancestors, especially two of the best matriarchs to ever exist in Auntie Femi Day, Ni Lovett, Gunditj Mara, and Auntie Frances Matheson, Ni Briggs, Yorta Yorta. Until we meet again, I burn for you too. I pay my respects to all my elders, past and present, including my Wamba Wamba, Yorta Yorta grandfather, Uncle Tommy Day, who will be sitting up in his chair in Brander Avenue in Shep right now, having no idea that I'm in Parliament, but I'll make sure that I'll let him know. My countrymen, women and kin, those in the room, and especially on live stream. I acknowledge the continued culture and our kinship systems that we all work hard to navigate, maintain and practice as taught by our people, some people who are now simply names in books, who raised people like me and loved me. And speaking of love, I am the very deadly, the very youthful, the very pretty mother of two warriors, the very rizzy Cleo Day and Teddy Day out in the crowd. Everyone give them a round of applause. I am the eldest daughter to the equally rizzy, elder known to our community as Auntie Sess, who I know will be joining us on live and she'll be screen grabbing, embarrassing. But thank you, Mother. And I am the big sister to the only marathoner in our family who is joining the Rizzy Borais here today, known as Auntie Lou or Bra. But to me, she will always be Candace Iris, named after our godmother, Auntie Iris Lovett Gardner. I am also notably the eldest sister to our brother, Tom Day III, raised by our grandparents, Auntie Femi and Uncle Tommy Day, and who is the artist responsible for our artwork at Gellung Warl, and his artwork also adorns the wall of Parliament here today. I wanted to acknowledge being the eldest niece to my aunties in the gallery today, in Auntie Lee and Auntie Donna. I love you. I hail from the Western Districts, landscapes that encompasses cool to touch limestone country, vibrant forest country, deep and abundant sea country, and of course, our ancient lava flow. All ecosystems that my nation has lived on, cultivated, protected and maintained for thousands of years. Since colonisation, my community has worked hard to continue this custodianship through the ultimate resistance in maintaining and continuing our cultural practices on such landscapes, our landscapes, like we have done since time immemorial. Landmark decisions such as Onus versus Alcoa in 1981, which occurred a decade before Mabo versus Queensland, and that successfully recognised our rights as rightful custodians. I ask everyone in the room to visit Uruk Justice Commission website to listen to the stories of death threats and abuse received by our aunties who just wanted rights for our peoples. Like Auntie Ez said, not favours, but rights. In 2007, we received our consent to termination through the Native Title Act with a further ruling through the TOSA Act. In 2019, we became the 20th property inscribed via UNESCO World Heritage List based on our cultural values of what is known as Budjabim cultural landscape. We have pioneering ACOs, like Uncle Mook mentioned, that are 30+ years old and have enterprises like our Tayrak Cafe. Together we have generated much income and contributed our fair share to our local community, with the treaty era yet to come. Within those Western districts I hail from, is a township known as Portland, Victoria's birthplace. In order for this statement to be accurate, means these same, now shared landscapes carry scars of a shared past worth telling. Through Europe, we heard about the massacres since invasion that dot our landscapes, one of the most significant being referred to as the Convincing Ground, a story passed down through generations and reflected in colonial diaries that speak to the slaughter committed by whalers who had caught a whale which broke the moors, landing on the shores of the Kilcara Gunditj, who immediately set about claiming the whale for community distribution, based on thousands of years of culture, ceremony, kinship and tradition. The whalers made their way to shore and killed all but 2 of the clan group, men, women, babies, our babies. One of 59 clan groups that makes up my nation, taken to the brink of extinction, all for a whale, based on entitlement and no respect for humanity, by nothing but genocidal maniacs, the real savages. Victoria's birthplace is also a crime scene. I share this brutal truth today to land on this statement. In the treaty era that is about negotiations based on good faith and respect, you can now have us at World Heritage listing if you don't want us at our massacres. Truth-telling is important and must be non-negotiable in order for us to work from a shared foundation with deep responsibility and commitment for all Victorians to share in successful outcomes. Outcomes such as feeling like we belong on our own landscapes and we collectively prosper. Outcomes that see our kids staying with our families. Outcomes that see people no longer dying in custody, our people. Outcomes such as the continued contribution of our fair share to our local economies. If you haven't already guessed, I stand here today and over the next 4-year term as the democratically elected Gunditj Mirring Reserve Seat member, and as a proud kin to many in this room and throughout the state and for the purpose of the treaty era. I thank those mob who engaged the process that saw me elected as your representative, and I commit to being accountable, inclusive, strong, and embody us, the fighting Gunditj Mara. Finally, I want to speak to something very important. Since writing my maiden speech, 27 days ago, my brother Tom Day III passed away. And like our Uncle Harrison Day, our grandfather's brother who died in custody in Echuca police cells, his death was preventable. As long as my brother's artwork hangs on these walls, and as long as I have breath in me, and while I sit on the Assembly and beyond, we must commit to everything that is agreed in the statewide treaty. No one in this room, nor online, nor within our community, but especially those that sit in this room and make decisions about us, people like my brother who died at 45, can accept such outcomes. We deserve better. My Uncle Harrison deserved better. My brother Tom absolutely deserved better. There is no pride in genocide. And so with that, law versus law. Let's get this done. I'm ready. Are you? If you forgot, my name's Keicha Day. And in the words of my favourite senator, Senator Briggs, I'm not just a descendant of, I am Gunditj Mara, I am Yorta Yorta, and I am Wamba Wamba. Always was, always will be. Thank you.